With Islam Makhachev vacating his lightweight belt and moving up to welterweight, and Dana confirming he's going to take on Jack Della Maddalena, there's just one question on UFC fans' minds. How does he match up against the welterweight division? Well, that's what I'm going to try and answer today. As you can see here, we've got the welterweights, all 15 of them. Here's little Islam, but he's also, over here somewhere. I've put a photo of him for you guys. And how does he match up against the top 15 welterweights? We're going to go through all 15 of them and choose the winner, see how it would play out in our minds. Obviously, this is my opinion. And some would say I don't rate Islam as highly as others. So you might disagree with some, but let's go through the top 15. Obviously, we start with number 15, Michael Venom Page. Really rangy striker. Everyone that's taken him on the feet looks a little bit silly. But God, does he have no takedown defense? Really weak. So if Islam Makhachev was to fight Michael Venom Page, it would be tough. I wouldn't be 100% sure because that rangy, I could see like Islam's shots being a little bit bad. Michael's so far away from him, it's going to be hard to really shoot in. But, he's on the floor against Kevin Holland. He's like anyone who's shooting, he's getting him down really. Ian Garry kind of ragdolls him. Not really, but Ian Garry takes him down. This guy, Logan Storley, I've seen him in the PFL. So I'd actually think Islam Makhachev, although it would be tough and I wouldn't be confident because that big rangy, I'm actually doing a good impression, that rangy little movement, it'd be tough for Islam to get his reads, but I trusted him to close the distance, get Michael down, maybe potentially submit him. If Ian Garry's got the rear naked in, Islam Makhachev definitely could. So I reckon Islam Makhachev against the number 15 man in the world, Michael Venom Page, I would say he gets that one done. But number 14 is a different story. Vicente Luque now. Not the best Vicente that we've got these days. If Islam Makhachev was to take him on, I would trust in Islam Makhachev to get it down. It's a tough one, but the way he throws up against Joaquin Buckley, not really letting his hands go, he's rebounded against Themba Gorimbo, but Themba Gorimbo is nothing special, is he? So definitely one of the easier matchups for Islam Makhachev in the welterweight division. I would choose him to take on Vicente Luque and beat him across the distance. Don't think he'd submit him or anything really, and this is a tough guy because Vicente's got a good grappling background, but Belal was able to run a similar game plan I think Islam could implement. Moving on, because that's a bit boring. Moving on to the next guy, Carlos Prates. Now, I do think this is a tough one. It's not just, he gets him down and subs him easily. Because we did see Ian Garry really not be able to get Carlos down too much. But you would, I suppose you guys would say Islam's got better takedowns than Ian Garry. He definitely does, come on. But 31, froze up a bit against Ian. Was just like a one-shot guy, didn't, seem to put in a game plan, jab, build into the fight. He was just, my straight left's not hitting, I'm cooked here. So I would trust in Islam Makhachev to maybe close the distance, get him down to the floor. But seriously, I think this is tough, man. These big framed welterweight guys with range on him, who hit harder than Dustin Poirier, and, maybe Carlos does have better takedown defense than Dustin Poirier. Probably not. But guys like Ian Garry and Sean Brady, Shavkat definitely would. So how does he match up against those guys? I would say Islam beats a Carlos Prates after the last one, but who knows? Who knows, but I would pick him. And I'm yet to pick against Islam yet. Down over to number 12, Wonderboy Thompson. You know what happens here. He gets him down. He gets him down eventually. He probably submits him. 42 Wonderboy is these days. Belal's getting him down. Gilbert's getting him down. Even Gilbert's getting him down. Nah, just kidding. Gilbert used to be good. Gilbert, everyone who wants to grapple with Wonderboy can. I'm sure Islam would get him down. But the range, the strikes on the feet, still scary for Islam, man. He's not bulletproof. And he does mark up. Volk's giving him trouble, and Volk's a featherweight. So you do have to take into account that these guys are going to be bigger, rangier, frame-wise, stronger than the guys that Islam's fought before. So, and that takes me to number 11, Geoff, hands of steel, Neal. Islam Makhachev versus Geoff Neal. I'm going Geoff Neal. Granite takedown defense, impenetrable to get down. Like, this guy's hips are insane. No one can get him down. Shavkat struggles. Belal can't. RDA is toast. And Islam Makhachev's going to grapple with him, ragdoll him to the floor and submit him. When he couldn't do that to Dustin Poirier. You're saying Dustin's got better? I reckon 3-rounder, I'd absolutely take Geoff Neal. 5-rounder, a little bit iffy, but I reckon the boxing on the feet, their hands are too crisp, the power's too much. I'd pick Geoff Neal to beat Islam Makhachev. I would. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but matchup-wise, this is one of the hardest people he'd have to take on when it comes to the top 15. Look at that. Tell me who's got the best takedown defense. It might just be Geoff Neal. When are people taking him down and doing shit? Even when you do kind of get him down for a second, he gets right back up. So maybe Islam clutches a on the feet submission, because that's how Shavkat had to do it. Because there's no getting Geoff Neal down. And Geoff Neal gives him problems on the feet. Way better boxer, stiff, fast hands, pop on them as well. I'm picking Geoff Neal to beat Islam Makhachev, whether it's a 5-rounder or a 3-rounder. I reckon that's a tough matchup for him. Moving on to number 10. Gilbert Burns, moving on to a much easier one for little Islam Makhachev. Obviously, he washes Gilbert out of there in the first round. 1 minute, takes him out of there, KOs him. But seriously, he probably would do something to Gilbert. Probably sting him. Gilbert's like, shit, that's too much. I don't know. I don't want to shit on Gilbert, but Islam licks his lips when he sees Gilbert get put across the table. Not put across the table, is it? Like his name slides across to him. You know what I mean? Come on. But yeah, Gilbert Burns, I'm not picking him to beat Islam Makhachev anymore. Of course not. You can't. He's kind of done, unfortunately. But we know that. I'm not sure how he'd probably sting him on the feet. Just keep it on the feet the whole time. Not shoot on Gilbert at all. He could though, because Sean Brady did successfully. Belal didn't actually. Just work Gilbert on the feet. Gilbert's done. You know this. Alright, you know this, brother. Alright, moving on to, what is this? Number 9 in the world, Colby Covington. How would he match up against Islam Makhachev? I feel like this is a little bit of an easy one, of course, for Islam. Smaller guy, weaker guy, compared to the people he's been taking on. 37, doesn't have it in him anymore, a little bit washed, susceptible to taking some damage on the feet these days, rocked. Still has a great chin, of course, you do have to give him that, but yeah, he's just not implementing any game plans anymore, like scaring anyone on the feet. Islam's got nothing to worry about in this fight. This is a much easier one for him. But still, you can't, I'm not saying he's 100% he washes out Colby. He easily runs through Vicente Luque. I feel like that's a tough matchup, Vicente Luque is. But yeah, Colby, I'd pick him to beat Colby. 3-round, 5-rounder, championship fight. He beats Colby, probably finishes him, but who knows? Colby's hard to finish. But, scar tissue as well. He probably gets some cuts open. But does Islam Makhachev not get cut up and hurt on the face? Moving on to number 8 in the world, Michael Morales. I feel like this is tough. I really feel like this is tough. Big, rangy, athletic guy. Young as well. We haven't seen anyone really get him down and grapple with him. Like, he's got that judo background, I think. Stinging his shots, like, big framed guy. This, I wouldn't count Islam out. But if this was a matchup that got announced, I would pick Michael Morales, I think. Definitely in a 3-rounder. Maybe in a 5. Maybe I'm not trusting him the championship level that Islam is. But going off his past fights, Dustin, 36, giving him trouble. Volk raining down punches. And Volk is great and was in his prime. But I just think there's weight classes for a reason. He's lucky he's got the weight and the strength and the frame on these guys. But if you move up against big, rangy, tall guys with Michael Morales with great hips, like, it's going to be hard to just pick up Michael and take him down. So athletic, just pops right back up if he did get down anyway. So I really believe I would just pick Michael Morales if they were to fight, to sting him with good shots, keep him at range, mark up his face and not get taken down or dominated if he was to get taken down. That's another guy I would pick to beat Islam Makhachev if they got matched up. Moving on though to number 7, I think we're at here. Number 7 now. This guy you'd say matches up well, but I could also see him matching up bad. Big swings, boom, double leg, or even Islam being a bit faster, stinging him with boxing on the feet. Like, I'm not too sure, as maybe you'd be sure, but the physicality, the strength, this is a real tough one. I could see Islam being too smart, fight IQ being too much, catching him in a sub, getting him down in moments. But I could also see Joaquin Buckley just shucking off Islam Makhachev and putting hands on him with big power and just not giving him any respect. Honestly, what is Joaquin Buckley going to have to really worry about? Oh, that's a big shot by Islam. Not too much. This one is a real tough one for me because I don't rate Joaquin Buckley that much. He's not going to bang like a stiff 1-2 down the pipe. He's going to get in his hips, load up, big shots. Islam could maybe see it coming. So this is real 50-50, the hardest matchup for me to get my head around. I'd honestly maybe trust in the championship level that is Islam Makhachev. If it was a 5-rounder, I'd actually pick Islam. But I can see how this goes so south for him when Joaquin Buckley just destroys him. I could see that too. But I could see Islam just being too smart for him, sees that coming, landing good shots, countering Joaquin Buckley at will, just stinging him at range, kicks and stuff, taking him down in moments and making Joaquin Buckley work. But yeah, that's a tough matchup, 50-50. I'd actually trust in Islam. 3-rounder, I would just go Buckley though, to just shuck him off. He's not going to get dominated and land big shots, really go for it in a 3-rounder. But 5-rounder, maybe Islam. That's a tough one though. Ian Machado Garry, the future number 6 in the world. I really think Ian Garry would be too much for Islam Makhachev. Range, good feints, footwork on the outside, stinging him with a jab, making him second guess, level changing, but obviously not level changing, but feints and stuff, switching up his levels with the leg kicks and head kicks and body kicks. Obviously Islam could do something similar. I think Ian Garry's just too young in his prime and such a hard frame for Islam to get down, man. These big, tall guys where you go to pick up you go to pick them up, but their legs are still on the ground because they've just got that build. Izzy Adesanya, Michael Morales, Alex Pereira even. You pick them up, you think you're going to move their weight around, but their legs are still on the ground. So yeah, I really think Ian Garry's too much for Islam Makhachev. He'd sting him, and I reckon he'd probably school him. I doubt he'd lose a round. Seriously, you might not agree with that one at all, but I think Ian Garry matches up really, really well with Islam Makhachev. Even if he was to get taken down, he'd get back up and just beat him on the feet, outland him, and yeah. Yeah, I trust in Ian Garry, but you might not. Obviously, we're all different. Give me your opinion in the comment section. How many of these top 15 fighters would you trust Islam to beat? In a 3-rounder, I'd honestly maybe favour Islam. But in a 5-rounder, I would trust Ian Garry to implement a good enough game plan to get it done across the distance. Good feints. He's really good. I know you don't like him, and I find him fucking so annoying as well. Seriously, he's weirdly delusional, boxing the head off Jack. Shut up. But yeah, he beats Islam Makhachev in my opinion. And moving on to number 5 in the world. Number 5, Kamaru Usman. Tough one, but I reckon Islam Makhachev has what it takes here. In a 3-rounder and a 5-rounder, just to maybe outland Kamaru. I don't see him really getting him down, but Kamaru's a little bit slower these days. Doesn't have that crisp fastness and good reflexes and eyesight backing up that an Ian Garry. Why I'm trusting an Ian Garry to get it done. And that good hips. Well, he's got... I'm not saying Islam's going to get him down. Kamarudian. I forget that his name's Kamarudian. Or Karamuddin. But yeah. I would say Islam gets it done. But it's not a sure thing, of course. Nothing is. And you can't forget what Usman did. But Hamzat did get him down. But Hamzat's night and day strength in wrestling compared to Islam. There's weight classes for a reason. I'm sure... Hamzat would do something similar to Islam in the first round. Get him down and take his back for a little bit. I really believe that. So, I don't know. It's a tough matchup, but 38, Usman, I reckon Islam would beat him. But I also said Islam would maybe beat Buckley. So, I put Usman and Buckley on the same sort of path. Yeah, it's a tough one, though. Tough one, good matchup. Maybe Usman stings him with good shots and really puts him on the back foot. These guys are going to have to push Islam back and not give him the respect that the featherweights and lightweights do. Push him back this is a small guy coming into your weight class, boys. Leon Edwards, forgot about him in the thumbnail, the only person I didn't put in the thumbnail. But yeah, I'd say Islam definitely wins at this point, going off what we've seen. You put a takedown threat in this guy's mind, and he completely freezes up. Unlike the champion of the division, we'll get to him shortly. But yeah, one takedown and Leon's striking's gone. Just overthinks it completely, doesn't want to hit the deck at all. look what Belal did, obviously. Brady did. Even though Usman and Colby did nowhere near anything. Well, Usman did in the first fight. So, yeah, we've seen switching it up on the feet and mixing in grappling really trumps the game of Leon Edwards. I'd pick Islam to win. But Leon's got a chance. He's really good on the feet. Good range. But, yeah, Islam wins that one, I reckon. Trips him in the clinch and gets him down and does work on top. Moving on to Shavkat Rakhmonov, mind. I reckon this is a scary one. I reckon this is a weird one. Weird one to get my head around. I don't reckon Shavkat's given Islam much respect, though. He probably would, though, because of the heritage. And I know Habib's dad was in Shavkat's corner, so he would maybe have respect. But I could see Shavkat going forward, big knees himself, stuffing the takedowns of Islam. I reckon that this would be a majority striking matchup. I don't see Islam getting Shavkat really down. He's such a big, great frame for the division, strong guy, 30 in his prime, and I reckon that Garry fight, first time he's gone 5 rounds, that he's going to really get a lot better from that. But this is a tough one, more of a tough one. I'm leaning maybe 60-40 Shavkat to get this one done. Just be stronger, better, more in his prime, keep it on the feet and hurt Islam with some good shots. And, Islam, Geoff Neal sticking Shavkat and hurting him, and Shavkat's dog toughing it out. I don't think Islam is sticking and stinging Shavkat the way Geoff Neal can. I really don't think so. Earn the respect that Geoff Neal did. And Geoff Neal didn't even really seem to earn this guy's respect. He just walked through him, regardless of what he was throwing. So, yeah, I would pick Shavkat to climb to 20-0 and beat Islam Makhachev in a 3-rounder and a 5-rounder, but it's not a sure thing. And because I forgot about Leon in the thumbnail, I thought I forgot about him again in the when I was just doing it. So we'll move on. Sean Brady. I think this is the highest ranked guy that Islam can be. I do think he matches up really well against Sean Brady. Sean Brady's just like, all right, now I'll go for a 5-punch combo. He's not thinking out there. He's obviously thinking, but he's not like jab, reflex, bing, bing. It just happens naturally for him. He's not sure of himself on the feet. Maybe he just takes down Islam and grapples with him, dominates him on the ground. Such a big-framed, massive boy. I mean, he half-guard camped Craig Jones, so you don't think he can maybe half-guard camp an Islam Makhachev, but I would say this is kept on the feet by Islam, and Islam would outstrike him on the feet, land better stuff, good counters. Islam does have a good counter game. He's decently fast, susceptibly fast. Good kicks everywhere. So I would actually say Islam maybe takes this one by decision, landing more and better on the feet. But, it's who knows? Big welterweights like this, we've never seen it. Maybe Sean Brady, just gets a weird takedown on him and Islam's stuck on the ground. I can see a world where that happens as well. But, yep. Moving on to the number 1 contender of the division. Well, you wouldn't see this fight because they're such good mates, even though Islam was rooting against him. Belal Muhammad. And I don't think you guys are going to agree with this one, but I reckon Belal Muhammad, great style to beat Islam Makhachev. I would pick him to do so. Definitely in a 5-rounder, I would. I reckon he's got better, safer boxing on the feet. I reckon he would keep this one on the feet and box up Islam Makhachev. Maybe even Marab, single leg, make Islam work, but then boom, back out of it, ting, 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 box him up on the feet. This would be a close fight. Maybe Islam's not really giving Belal respect, but I reckon this would be a razor close fight if this went 5 rounds, 48-47 either way. And I know you might not agree with this one. I reckon this is the one most people aren't going to agree with, but I reckon Belal Muhammad would beat Islam on the feet. I reckon he's a better boxer. Same decent kind of body kick. I reckon these guys are pretty similar level. Hence why I'm very confident Jack wins against Islam, and we'll move on to that in a second. But I do think Belal in a 3-rounder maybe Islam, but I don't know, man. I reckon no one's dominating the other on the ground. This would barely hit the thing, and I can see him volume punching, being a better boxer than Islam is. Don't doubt Belal's boxing just because he went 5 rounds with Jack and, got outstruck convincingly every round. Jack's the man. Jack's the man, and last but not least, of course, the champion of the division and the fight that will be happening this year, you'd think. Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. And Jack absolutely wins. 28 in his prime. Best person Islam would ever have fought on the feet. Strongest, biggest in frame. Youngest and most in their prime as well. Like, this is a nightmare matchup for Islam Makhachev. Like, you're struggling with featherweight Volkanovski, but you're going to go up to welterweight and ragdoll Jack? No chance. No chance. Jack stings him with great shots, marks up his face. I reckon he batters him. And I'm a big Jack fan, and when I look at the welterweight division, don't worry, I worry. I do worry about some matchups. But when I look at Islam, I don't worry that much. Sean Brady, I'm a little bit scared. Even though I said Islam beats Sean Brady, obviously styles make fights. Sean Brady, I'm a little bit scared. Ian Garry, I can see a world where it happens. Shavkat, tough guys. But when I look at a smaller framed Islam Makhachev, where Jack, again like Belal, is not really going to give Islam respect on the feet. He's not scared that he's going to get chinned out of nowhere by a great punch. Gilbert Burns, he has to give more respect, especially the Gilbert that he fought, compared to the other ones that everyone else is fighting. So yeah, I reckon this is a great matchup. It's a more in your prime, better Dustin Poirier, bigger and stronger. Way better head movements, switches stance like a feather. God, this guy's elite, and that's how Islam Makhachev matches up with the top 15. How many did I say beat him? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 though. 6, 7? 7 out of the 15, so half and half. I reckon he's got a 50% chance against others. You know, beats Brady and stuff, but yeah, that's how Islam Makhachev matches up against the top 15 of the welterweight division, everyone. You're welcome for that little Thursday video, guys. No problem. I did this for Ilia Topuria when he vacated his belt and moved up to lightweight, so I'm doing it again, bringing it back. How does he match up against the welterweight division? You're welcome. Thank you. Like it, subscribe, please. Subscribe.